Hey y'all, welcome to Backyard Brews and Barbecues. I'm Nick. Here we are heating the mash water to 65 degrees Celsius with the pump recirculating to get a nice even heat. The water agents have already been added. Now that our mash water is up to temp, I'm turning the pump off so that I can move the pump arm out of the way of the water. And then here I am grabbing the basket, and we're in. Oh, I got to pull this ring out, the retaining clip for the basket. And now we're inserting the basket into the water. Taking the handle off because that's going to be in our way here. Adding another pipe with a cap on it so we don't get grains down the center of the malt pipe. Here, I gotta go grab the bag of grains. Hold on, guys. Forgot my spoon. Let me get my spoon down in there. Alright, let's start doughing in. I'm not gonna doing this slowly because I want to stop here in a minute and circulate those grains down in the water, get them hydrated. Right here. And this is where we're stirring it in. The first one doesn't take that long. Just get them all wet, get them down in there. I'll continue pouring them all down in. Give it another stir. Let's get them down in there and get them all hydrated. Now that we've got all our grains in, we're going to take a minute here and stir the rest of the grains in, making sure everything is well incorporated and hydrated. Bucket's spinning on me. And this one's going to be a thick mash. Shouldn't be, but right now it's just thick. And you just want to keep stirring until you get everything well incorporated and mixed. Make sure there's no dough balls down anywhere. Make sure everything's nice and wet. Alright, now that we got that done, I'm going to grab the mesh top, place that down on top so we can then not squeeze the grains, but we just set it right down on the top of the grain bed. Purpose of this is I'm going to swing the pump arm back over the top so we can start basically a Vorloff process. Just pulling the wort from the bottom and pumping it to the top to start rinsing the grains. It gives me a much better calculation of gravity as I check it throughout the mash. Sorry for my arm in the way, guys. On one camera, it doesn't make it real easy. Alright, here we are, turn the pump on. It's all, the valve, the red valve is all the way open, and as you can see, we're pulling a whole lot of water. So we're going to slow that down because we don't want to pull a whole bunch of water and just suck all the water out of the grain bed. We don't want to do that. We want to keep it nice and loose. So we're going to slow it down so we can rinse the grains at the same time, pull it from the bottom. Keep it at a nice, even height. Now that we are mashed in, we're clicking start on the timer to start our mash temperature timer. Here's our timer going off to remind us to heat our sparge water and add our water additions to our sparge water. Our mash is now complete, so now we are going to raise it up to 75 degrees Celsius for our mash rest. With the mash out coming to an end, we're going to hit continue when this is done, pull our grain basket out so then we can start the sparge. Alright, with our mash complete, we're going to start the sparge. First we're going to turn off our pump, close the valve, unscrew the pump arm and take it because we need to move it out of the way so we can lift the grain basket. Grab our handle, lift the grain basket up, give it a quarter turn so it can sit then on the retaining ring and allow to drain. Put it on a retaining clip. I'm going to adjust the camera here so that we can get into a better view of the basket and as well as the sparge water heater behind it. Grab my measuring cup. What I do is I usually fill it 3/4 full. That is it'll hold a gallon, so I fill it to 3/4 of a gallon. We are going to do sparge with 3.5 gallons to give us a total volume of 6.75 gallons. When sparging, I just add enough water to the mash bin to allow that no water really sits on top of the mash bin. I don't want it just sitting up there pooling. I want it to actually drain well. So we're just going to splash it around in there over the handle and over the mash, or the mesh, the top mesh piece for the drainage. This can take a while. You're no rush really here to sparge. I mean, you want your water to remain at the temperature of 75 degrees C while you're doing this, so there is not a whole lot of urgency, but there is some. But we want to continue to sparge where we're not allowing that water to pool. With the sparge now complete, we're fast forwarded, thank God for editing. We're going to drop in the hot basket and we're going to get started with the boil. Now that our sparge is complete, we're going to heat the water up to boiling, and as we do that, we are going to take our measurements. We had a mash of 6, or a mash pH of 6, and we also had a boil volume of 6.5 with a gravity of 1.040. Now that we're at a boil, we're going to add our first addition of hops of Hallertauer Mittelflor at the 60-minute mark. Now for our second addition of hops, as well as yeast nutrient and Irish moss. With the boil complete, we are now going to turn off the heat and we are going to check the hop spider that's hot. Let's get a heat protective glove on. Alright, we're going to pull our hop spider up and out. Allow this to drain into it because we still have a whole lot of hop flavoring and wort in that hop spider that we are draining out of it. Tilt it to the side so we can get some more of that liquid goodness out. Alright, with that down, we're going to put that over into the sink. Go grab my lid for the grain father. This allows the counterflow chiller to sit on top. There's my lid. And make sure we get it on there. Go grab our counterflow chiller that came with the grain father. And it fits right there on top. Connect the end of wort to the pump. I've got the cold hooked up to my kitchen sink, and the hot actually is, instead of going to the sink, it's going into the sparge water heater. To conserve water, I'll use this hot water coming out of the counterflow chiller then to clean all my gear. We're going to grab the temperature probe out of the grain father and put it into the temperature probe area of the wort. This allows me to then take the temperature of the outcoming wort out of the counterflow chiller and place it either back into the grain father because it still needs to be chilled further, or into the fermenter there on the left. As you can see there at the bottom, you can see the fermenter, or the temperature probe reading 44 down to 40 now, so it's moving along. We want to get that down to about 20 C before we start transferring it over to the fermenter. Now that we are at a cool enough temp to go into the fermenter, we're going to take our exit of the wort, move it into the fermenter, and start filling up there. As you can see there, I'm moving the hose around to get some aeration. I don't have an aeration stone. It'll be coming here soon, hopefully in the next video. But I want to get some oxygen into the fermenter here at this point to help promote the yeast and allow the yeast to do its thing. Here I'm just now controlling the flow valve, speeding it up, slowing it down, trying to keep that constant temperature of 20 degrees C. I'm going to speed this up here. You don't need to watch the whole, fill the whole 5 gallons thing up, so we're going to do some movie magic and fast forward right to the end. So here we are pitching Imperial's Yeast Loki. Nice Kveik yeast that'll ferment fast and ferments at room temperature. I don't have temperature control right now, so this is where we're at. Once we have that open, we're going to dump that and put the lid on. Close the clasps. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe if you like the video. Leave the comments down. I'll be reading. Thanks, guys.